Thank you, Mona. Good. 5 cases, all right. And you took it in high school and college because there was no spoken component. That's the perk of a dead language. You've never been curious, though, about what it sounded like? A lot of grown-ups in Russia don't know these things. Not everyone knows case names as well. My friend is a very smart and educated guy, speaks great English and French. His Russian is far above average as well, but he doesn't know the names of the cases, at least not all of them at the top of his head. I'm not surprised. Though, no, I am a little bit surprised because he knows other languages as well. Like, typically, people don't, like, they can speak their language and they speak it well. But if you ask them, but why? And they go, it's because it's like that. That would be the difference. I remember I'm French and I teach French. I've taught some English as well. And I had native speakers, English native speakers who were colleagues, they were lecturers. And when students say, but okay, what is the difference between present perfect and present perfect continuous? Like, how do I know which one I use? And we're like, well, it's kind of like, because they've never had to think about those things. And to be honest, I had to think about how French language works before I was able to teach it. But as a native speaker, you don't do that. What for? You already speak the language. And typically, that's when you learn another language that you start thinking about yours. And it's always, for me, so surprising. For example, when we do conditionals in French. Like, if I had money, I would do this. If I had done that, I wouldn't have seen that. Those sort of things. In English, you go 0th conditional, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd conditional. Mixed conditionals. And in French, shockingly, it works the same way. Like, it's the same structure with the same tenses. And my students are, they're really confused about conditionals. I said, but it's the same in, like, in English, you'd say that. That's a present tense. That's a future tense. It's the same thing in French because they never thought about their language. So I like to think that when you study French with me, and we're speaking English in addition to French, you learn a little something about your own language as well. Okay, we're gonna do an intervention, and we really hope this will take us to Molakmar, where we can find a new companion. I think about how languages work a lot in my free time. I can tell, which is great. I love that. There you are, Shurivir, buddy. We're going to ditch Grim. Greetings, wanderer true. A moment of time, I beg of you. Shurivir stands lost and weary, teleported here from somewhere dreary. He clutches his colourful jester's hat nervously. With a hat like that, I bet the cliff racer spots you from the other side of the island. Now, Shurivir is one of my companions, like one of my mods, and I must confess outright that I wanted his dialogues, I wanted him to speak in rhyme, and I completely used ChatGPT to get the rhymes I wanted. So, yeah. Ah, my chapeau of motley design, the mark of my trade, my living, my sign. A jester's crown for a jester's wit, though my latest performance, I must admit, a calamity of errors, a tale gone wrong. My audience of one did not laugh along. Now here we stand, far from that faithful stage, escaped by a scroll from potential rage. Yeah, I could never write that on my own. Like, I wrote what I wanted him to say, and then I say to ChatGPT, give me 4 different ways to express this with rhymes, and then I mixed and matched the things I liked. So, yeah. I feel like analogies between languages are mostly frowned upon in formal language teaching, but use those a lot of myself. Like, from a historical point of view, the way languages were taught were through translation, like grammar and translation. And it was really analyzing, this is how we make the sentence in that language, this is how it is done in that language. So it's a way to learn. There is what we call comparative grammar that is not used in a lot of schools or in a lot of textbooks. And I don't know if it's because it's sort of frowned upon, because we got to the point where we said, and it's not wrong, immersion. It's another way people learn a language, immersion. And we try to reproduce that in the classroom. And that's why I still see that nowadays, and I think it's amusing. The first lesson is when you say what your name is, and the teacher is going to give you the French version of your name. And from now on, that's the name that is going to be used. All that in the name of immersion. And immersion is great, but calling you Marie instead of Mary is not going to really immerse you enough in the language to make you learn the language easier or faster or better. Like it's a half measure, not even half. And so in line with that, we got to the point where we should teach the language through the language, which is really, really good. It's possible. Even with beginners, it's harder, it takes more time, but it's considered better. And therefore, using the native language and comparing is considered as less, but I think it has its place in the classroom also. And it's really useful for me making those connections. That's how I learn, that's how I remember. Keep both. I'd be scared of Shurivir being taken out by the bat, but Grim can hold his own against them. Grim cast 5 spells, and the last one kills the bat. Shurivir, tell me about you, buddy. Shurivir, they call this scaled-skinned wit, one who tells jokes in ancient tongue, born neath Morrowind's ancient sky, but never bound in slavery's chain, for my parents served House Lalu fair. In noble halls, through guile and rhyme, even dour Altmer laughed in time. Though far from the marsh where roots once grew, in riddled verse my heart stays true. Unlike you, Shurivir, I'm so glad I'm finally... I hope we don't kill him, I hope we don't die too soon. What is it, Latte? Latte wants attention. I also tend to do what you could call the poopy translation method, where I translate something from the target language in a way that sounds awkward in the native language but is structurally close. A literal translation. I see no problem with that. I mean, that's how you understand how the language works. No, I wouldn't call it poopy translation method. It's a really good method. A tale of woe I shall unfold. Lady Thorana, a Telvanni bold, summoned this humble jester to her hall. A comical assassination came her call. With merry heart did Shurivir prepare a playful drama beyond compare. Actors I hired, props I arranged, a stage was set where murder was estranged. The villain fell with most dramatic flair, the audience laughed out, but my success was not there. Latte, come on. Shurivir is very squishy. Now, like all my friends and foes companions, once you complete his quest, i.e. once you find him a home, he gets a buff and is less squishy. But I think you never gave him a home. So, oh my god. Let me go and see what Latte... I think he just wants attention. Flo? What is in my Flo? You want attention, of course. You want to go back outside? Really? with the trains and the plugins. Alright, you have 3 seconds of lucky. 2, 1. I'll open the door for him. Yeah. Okay. Floof. You know it. When you kiss the floof, you'll keep a couple of hairs on your face. Fury blazed in Theron's eyes. A real death, she screamed to my surprise. Not playful mime, but bloody deed she sought. A true assassination, comically wrought. When madness burn in a mage is so strong, survival means not staying long. My emergency scroll brought me to the shrine, while she still rages in that tower divine. Now Shurivir hides in fear, for Theron's reach extends quite near. That's terrible. Do you need help? I know all the correct answers. We're still working on finding him a home. I don't have that many housemen installed, and half of them are for him. Guess which half we found? None. Do you want me to tell you about the one that's in the vanilla game? Like, for instance, I could tell someone that when Russians introduce themselves, they basically say they call me, but unlike English speakers, they give their actual name, like Dimitri. But not something like Mad Dog. They give their name, not their nickname. In French, I mean, you know French, we say, I call myself, plus the name, and implied, and so I would like you to call me that too. Which is a round way of saying it's funny. Help for Shurivir. Your kindness shines like masses light. My gratitude flows deep and true. But where to start? I know not quite. Well, we need to disguise you. Or no, it's just your hat. The hat is wrong. A disguise? And part with my hat, my jester's crown? As well ask fish to part with scales or stars to flee the night. This chapeau marks my craft. And soul, my very life's delight. And though I'd wish to hide this face, an Argonian snout defies full helm with awkward grace. Our heads too long, our features proud, to don the masks that others crowd. Some other means we must devise, if Shurivir you would disguise. Okay. We'll find a hat that works for you. Many thanks, Battlemage. You are very
You will pay.
What?
With your blood.
No! I said no. And no. And I just said I know all the correct answers. Shurivir, I will take your ring and your hat. I can't wear it because it's yours. And I can't wear your coat either because it's yours. I will take your ring as a souvenir. Where did I save last time? It's permadeath. It's permadeath, guys. Now, what I could do, I could go back to Therana and tell her that I took care of him. Also, but it's not my fault. Like, I'm so hungry. I couldn't think straight. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shurivir. It was fun talking to you, though. I would have liked to read more of your lines. I don't have anything to eat. I need food. Makes me sad. Very, very sad. Let's go to the Pilgrim's Hotel. I think it's the name of the inn. I don't think that's that. I need food. Actual food. Should we take care of him or should we take care of him? We'll leave him there. That's maybe I need to bother Merlord about that. There's one mod that I've been wanting very, very much. Because I lose companions often, or sometimes, you know, you have a foe and you prevail, but it was a worthy foe. And sometimes I don't want to loot the body and dispose of the body. I wish I could bury the bodies, and that's what I would do for Chauvier. And have a... maybe not a tombstone, because that's not exactly lore friendly. But put a few pebbles or something, you know? Okay, now we are in Molagmar. We are penniless. We are hungry. We're thirsty. We're tired. No, we're hydrated. Sorry. We're not thirsty. We're not tired. Just hungry. And we're far from everything. And I use my one scroll of intervention. So whatever we do next, we're walking. And because we're penniless, I don't think I should try to... Okay. I don't think I want to go and pay for food, so... Hello, Vanjira. So we just need to walk out a little bit. I have some wood. We'll have a simple camp going on and I can cook the food that I have. I definitely do not want to risk food poisoning from eating raw meat. There's light over there because of a crossroad. It's chilly. What do you say we get dressed? I set up a little shrine for Fargoth on a rock beside the road where he died. Nice. Now we need to figure out how to resurrect him because I think he's needed for Constance's questline. You're right. Because she has something with her uncle who might be Fargoth's brother, something like that. So, yep, you're gonna need him. I mean, obviously you have the console. What is this? Is that from We Will Meet? No, okay, it's yours. It's from the Mountain of Fear?
My victory is at hand.
Is it a bat? It's always a bat. I think it's paralyzed and drifting off. To the death of the bat, indeed. You've never... I did play her quest once. I'm in the Molagmar region. So maybe I can set up camp. How about here-ish. I don't have a tent, so it's not gonna be extremely comfortable, but at least I'll be able to eat something. No, I can't. I am still within a settlement, even though I'm in the Molagamore region technically. Let's go. I guess she died or something. Yeah, she's a bit squishy also. That could be a good suggestion to Abbott for smart companions, to have an option where you can fortify the health of all your followers by X amount of HP. I'm sure that's doable. Even if it's not doable, I'm sure Abbott can do it. Allow player friendly fire soul trapping. No, 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 no. I'm checking if there isn't an option already, because there's so many options already, but I don't see that. I'll send him a message. Like, if he likes the idea, it will happen. If it doesn't, it won't happen. Nothing to lose. Would that be... Mercury Bard, you play with companions as much as I do, maybe even more. MWSU version of Resurrect that flipped the death counter. Yeah, so the spell would have to... I'm sure it's doable as well, honestly. Ask around on the MMC Discord, maybe somebody is up for it. I think I would rather make them less squishy and not have to look after them so much. Yeah, Constance and her booze. Actually, Constance and my booze. That she likes to drink whenever she gets the opportunity. Alright, we just need to walk far enough that we are not within the boundaries. That feels like a nice little nuke where bandits cannot see us from the road. And that's right, I'm a mage. I'm not going to use flint to start a fire. That's what commoners do. Actually, I don't need the supports because I don't have a pot or anything. The only thing I can do is grill stuff and probably burn it. But we have plenty of cork bulb. Let's grill a bunch. Can I grill cork bulb? It's not meat, so... How fast does it cook? Fast enough. She's poking me. I'll pause because that goes very quickly. By the way, the course I mentioned, the 60 lessons in one, they exist for multiple languages, most European languages, German included. Bad news is they are in Russian. Good news is I'm actually a teacher of German and English, even though my English is actually better with a lot of free time on my hand. So you're a teacher as well. Nice. From your experience, do students find... I'm assuming your students are Russian? And if that's the case, do they find German easier than English? I feel English is the easier language to learn. My experience with French is, after one school year, because I taught in a school, after one school year of learning English, students can communicate. Like you are able to communicate after 1 year, school year. After 1 year of French, students cannot communicate as well. I think part of that is because, again, the grammar part is a lot heavier with the French, and students get focused on learning their conjugation and things, and that prevents them from just speaking. Just say the words. Even if you don't conjugate the verb, you still get your message across, but they find that extremely hard to do. So I feel English is picked up faster, and then with advanced levels it's different. Okay, watching this. Didn't I put 3 of them? I only see 2. Because one is here. And not cooking. Well, we're only cooking 2, guys. I have to pick them up before they're completely cooked because they would burn. Wow. Shockingly, Cork bowl is not very filling. Graham, I think we still have some meat. Yep. You know, we're talking about food and now I'm feeling hungry. Also, I have no coffee. Oh, no. 2 sips of coffee. I haven't taught German other than practice at university, which was not much, and school students aren't really interested in it, so not motivated to learn it. That plays a big role. Currently, I'm in Switzerland, in the canton of Zurich. So the official language is German, and then the other official languages are French and Italian. And so everyone who attends school around Zurich has had French at school. Typically, if somebody speaks German to me and I don't understand, and I will say, I'm sorry, do you speak English? And if they say no, then the meat didn't grill. If they say no, then I say Français, which means French. Their reaction, 97% of the time, because I want to make sure I don't exaggerate, when I say maybe French and they go, no! Like, people in Switzerland have been clearly traumatized about having to learn French. It's compulsory. They start learning it from basic school, I think. And they have to keep learning it until they finish high school. And they hate it. Like, genuinely. They're like, they hate it. They don't want to speak it. The only people who are happy to speak French that I meet here are older people, 40 plus. Slavo, what's your experience with French? I used to have shifts as security guard in French Institute, and there was an attractive teacher that I wanted to impress by learning French on my own. I gave up after 2 minutes. Aww. I have a degree, haven't taught much, worked in an online school, was boring as hell. That's why I'm trying to find gamers to play good language learning games to help them bridge the gap between traditional classes and watching shows. I feel like that's where games shine. It's definitely, people normally don't play games to learn something, a language. But it's definitely a very valid aspect of it. Then again, a lot of people might be playing a game to just turn their brains off and, you know, go offline. But then if they're playing the game to learn the language, they have to think a whole lot more. So that might be also one of the reasons why it's not too attractive for them. So we got this lovely ring from Shuri Veer, which could be quite useful. Thank you, Shuri. Appreciate it. We are now still peckish. Let's have our rat meat for proteins. There we go. Much better. I remember a stand-up comedian decades ago who had a bit about someone choking to death trying to properly pronounce French. I don't think I've seen this one. I like Eddie Izzard as an actor, but maybe more as a stand-up comedian. And he does that bit about learning French. He speaks pretty good French. Like, he makes all kinds of mistakes with the gender of the nouns, that sort of things, but it doesn't matter because he gets the message across. He's even funny in French. I think for me, you know, you've mastered the language, and of course it's not super master, but you've mastered the language when you can make joke in that language. That's a turning point, I think. But anyway, Eddie Izzard on learning French. It's pretty old now. It might be 15 years old or so, but it cracks me up every time. People don't do damage, that's true. At some point I was looking for language learning videos where someone learns Japanese by playing because I wasn't good enough to play myself. You found none. Was a bit surprised. No, I don't find that really surprising. Really. And I'll try to find Steve Martin. That's the stand-up comedian. Oh, I had little biscuits to eat, and between Morrowind and talking with you guys, I completely forgot that I wanted to eat those biscuits.
For you.
For me.
If only.
If only.
There was somebody who could eat them.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Thanks. Steve Martin. Something about French. I'll see what a YouTube search yields. Okay, we are fed. I don't think that we have any reason to try and set up camp, like look for wood. I don't even have an axe. So the goal now is to reach civilization, because we can't afford a boat ride. Following roads feels like a winning strategy. Don't think we want to go to Almalexia's birthplace. Where do we want to go? I mean, you know, beginning of the stream where it was like, do we go to Del Branora, Nizis, or somewhere around here for the Mage's Guild quest? Maybe that's what I should do. I'm gonna head for the lake here. Forgot the name. But that's where I'm going. Yep, I'm gonna go that way. And then see if we can do the quests. There's this aspect that I don't hear anyone mentioning. If you try to learn from a show by analyzing it, you can't do it really because of the copyright thing. And those small bits of an episode of a show analyzed by someone are totally not enough. Let's quick save. You can basically sit down with someone, play a game, and have them explain stuff to you, and no one will have a problem with that. True. Stormatronach found the command for me, but I think I need the quartz. Mercury bar to resurrect? Like, it's literally, yes, you need to select, open that. Select the body and type resurrect. However, I mean, for the purpose of doing the quest with Constance, it will be fine, but Fargoth is going to give you a clean copy of Fargoth, not the one that died. He'll be different. He won't be the same. but even with the quest, I don't know if the quest has a filter that says if Fargoth is dead, then say that. You won't be able to progress the quest unless the variable is switchback, and I'm not sure because that bit is hard-coded. What sort of command did Storm Atronach give you? Sorry. Is it resurrect or something different with MWSE? This looks like a... Is it Mount Cond? Yes, it is. We are not religious, however, we do not steal from shrines. We have principles, I guess. Oh, Sarah... That wasn't a link, Streamlabs. Send it to me on Discord, I'll have a quick look. And I have to update the list of regulars so that Twitch knows who is a regular and who isn't. It's a lot more complicated than Resurrect. Okay. Then it's probably an MWSE or a Lua function. And that's too complicated for me. But yes, I could imagine a mod that resurrects them, or a mod that... Hello, person on the road. With a shiny robe. Friend or foe? In case you're a foe, I have my sexy infernal ready. And of course, Grim is also ready. It's an Altmer, it's a fellow Altmer. Terinda, hello. You're listening. Oof. Okay, I'm listening too. Ooh. I like talking to you. I learned things. And now you want to go. You're a smith, apparently? But you don't have the tools. And, of course. Alright, well. Bye, Terinde the Smith.
Me with respect.
In a shiny dress. My object, resurrect, reset, set. Okay. So you are still going to, like, I don't understand. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I agree. But I think you still need the body, indeed. So that you can select it in the command window. I am sort of heading in the right direction. So if you decide to give Morrowind the German a go, let me know. I know the game, my German is decent, and some people say my explanations are simple and easy to understand, so I am able to explain concepts that come up in the game. Besides, as I said, I can adapt that small course for you to make sure you know the bare minimum. And I have a lot of free time, so give it some thought. I think, like, I don't know how much is covered in the basic course. I think what I've done so far with Babel probably covers the same things, as in introduce yourself, talk about your family, talk about your job, say where you live, where you come from, discuss food and drinks, that sort of things. Whoa. I don't think I want the sexy infernal, but we'll try it. Wow. That was the sexy inferno spell, Black Rat. Remember it. I think the basic course would probably be a little redundant. Oh, we have people here. And Morrowind in German. My problem with Morrowind in German is not so much the German, it's the fact that I play a very heavily modded Morrowind. But if the focus is the language, I don't know that I would go... If I want to play a game in German for the sake of learning and improving my German, I don't think I would go for Morrowind. Because I wouldn't be able to do the things I like to do, which is make up stories. What game would you recommend? That is not Morrowind. And then other RPGs. Good Gothic. Gothic, I don't like how clunky the engine is. Even though I'm sure they are... What's happening? It is time for the battle axe. Weak corpus. Well, you can say that. You don't feel weak to me. Oh. Thanks, Grim. Bye, Grim. Oh, there's more? Bats, bloody bats. Okay, potion time. And fatigue. More fatigue. Latte! Kitten! Latte! Floof! Stop being dramatic, it's just a bat. Oh. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is so bad. Ooh, but there's tea.